3 minutes. 2 movies? Battle Remake.
Welcome to Battle Remake. My name is Buzzmead.
And I'm Eric Little.
Oh, we're talking Piranha today. We're talking Piranha.
You know, I gotta make an embarrassing confession.
I'm ready.
I thought initially this movie was about the plant.
What is the plant?
The Piranha plant.
Oh, is there one?
You never heard of the Piranha plant?
No.
Like, you never played Super Mario Brothers as a kid?
Yes.
The thing that comes out of the pipe that eats you.
Oh, is that what that's called?
That's a piranha plant. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
There's like a piranha plant that eats people. I thought it was a plant that swallowed people. I didn't realize these were like killer fish.
No, that's a killer fish, dude.
Yeah, it just goes to show you how little I knew about the story going in, or how little association I had with the movie, or that there was a movie. This
has been done a few times. The ones that we're talking about is 1978, directed by Joe Dante, and then we're talking 2011, which I guess is Piranha 3D is also is what it's called.
Yeah, this was billed as a 3D film, and honestly, if you were going to see this in the theaters, that'd be the way you'd want to do it and get the most experience out of it.
Yeah, see, I saw this on a plane.
Well,
which is not the best way to watch the Piranha.
No,
because
like,
I was trying to cover up my iPad as much as I could.
More like 3 double Ds.
yeah, pretty much.
Multiple double Ds.
And
whereas they called the 78 version of B movie for a reason.
Yeah, definitely.
Or maybe A+.
Yeah. So it was I kind of watched it in segments of covering it up and closing it down and then opening it back up and watching it again, just because there's a lot of nudity in it.
There's a ton of naked people.
Yeah, and there's a lot of death and a lot of blood. A lot of gore.
These are kind of gory films.
Let's check out the trailers and we'll go from there.
First, the 1978 trailer.
Sorry, I haven't edited this. Usually it's ready to go.
Who could have predicted they would attack?
Movie man.
And now, who would survive?
I could have predicted it because
Piranha, they're here.
I love the sound effect that it makes.
Yeah,
in the original one. Yeah.
They're hungry.
It's almost like a video game.
What's the matter with you? Piranha.
It's like an insect attack almost, like a cicada-like noise.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your hand out of the water.
What's wrong with the water?
The water is filled with carnivorous fish.
Piranha. They call them the devilfish because wherever they go, hell waits below.
They breed like flies. There'll be no way to stop them.
Suddenly, no one is safe.
I should have that guy. He's the biggest.
He's the biggest dick in the
film. He's the bigger dick. I'll change the thing on here.
Camp counselor?
Yeah. I don't know what his name is.
How about better lead dick?
Gotta believe it.
All right.
Better important dick.
These are the man-eaters who go beyond the bite of all other dogs.
How janky does that water park look, by the way? Does that look like anywhere you'd want to go?
No, not really. Yeah, I think the third act is what falls apart for me, because I was like, what are we doing?
This is a really passable film for a couple acts.
Yeah,
you know.
With razor teeth, they can strip a man to the bone in a frozen instant of terror.
Except for the effects of the fish, it's just like a bunch of stage hands hold
Piranha.
It's a bunch of stage hands holding a bunch of prop fish, and then shaking it.
Yeah.
They're hungry. They're here, and they're alive.
Mm-hmm.
Who can stop them? Now it's Piranha 3 double D.
Something bit me.
No, that's a different movie.
Sam, what are you seeing down there?
No, it is.
Are you kidding me?
It's a sequel to this.
Oh my God.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that now. And that's not a porn.
No.
I remember that now. They made it.
I want to know what the hell this thing is doing.
So my bad.
It's okay.
This particular piranha vanished 2 million years ago.
I'm thinking about closing the lake.
and there's 20,000 kids. You do the math.
And they all got their tits out. Why did they just call it Lake Havasu? That's clearly what it is. I think it's even in the credits.
Piranha hunt in packs. The first bite draws blood. The blood draws the pack.
That's a better explanation of the phenomenon than we got in the whole first film.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, Richard Dreyfuss is in this. He gets sucked into a vortex.
He's in there for a second.
Yep. Richard Dreyfuss in I Need Money.
Well, I guess it was... Oh, I don't remember seeing that scene.
I don't either.
Okay, so let's talk round one here, because this is
Round one.
the better opening scene here. In 1978, I think two kids, they sneak into what's a government like facility.
Yeah.
And they go skinny dipping, and then there happens to be piranha in that facility, and that's,
right.
and it's very, very like old school like horror film.
Yeah. And they don't. You don't see Wang, but she gets completely naked.
Yes, Eric, you don't see Wang.
But it's funny that like that's how
is he a Chinese? Is he a Chinaman or what? Who's Wang?
Chinaman's not the preferred nomenclature.
Call it
Buzz.
Wang. Huh?
It's Asian American.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Well, we've already used dick to describe the jerk in the movie.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying? It's always funny to me like how the chick gets completely naked, but the dude like jumps in his boxers or something like that. It's so transparent.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. Like you're right. It's two idiots that break into like a government facility, and unbeknownst to them, the body of water that they're skinny dipping in is filled with these fish.
Yeah, piranha.
Yeah.
And then in the remake, it opens up with Richard Dreyfuss
fishing.
Fishing in a lake. And then there's some kind of earthquake or something like that. And then he gets, I think he gets like swallowed down.
A whirlpool.
Yeah. And then I think he gets eaten by the piranha that come out of a crack in the earth or something like that. They've been
almost like a time-space continuum that opens up because of this.
Yeah.
And these million-year-old fish.
Right, piranha that are like old piranha that are from
they're
dinosaur
here. Prehistoric
like
piranha.
Prehistoric. I was looking for that word, and
they're here.
It didn't really come to my mind.
There
okay,
you go.
Which of these opening scenes is more stronger to you?
I don't know. I kind of like the. I have a whole lot easier time believing the opening scene in the original.
Yeah.
Two idiots sneaking into somewhere they're not supposed to be, doing something they're not supposed to do, and then it sets off this chain reaction of events.
Yeah.
Basically someone's got to go look for these people because they're missing now, and then because of that, the trail leads them to this facility. They drain the pool because they're just looking for dead bodies at that point, and all of a sudden this whacked out scientist is like, you can't drain the pool.
Right.
And no one's like, well, why can't we drain the pool? We're going to drain the damn thing. And and all of a sudden it's drained. You idiots, look what you've done. Like a day later he tells them what the threat was, which we'll get to that in a minute. But as far as the opening scene goes, at least the remake had Richard Dreyfuss, which was kind of cool. But the whole space-time continuum thing, really that's what this is.
It's exposition.
Yeah. Do you like the little continuum thing, or do you like the other way that these piranha get released? And I think the other one's much more believable.
Yeah, I have to agree with you.
Original.
I like the old school feel of it. I like how it's it's a campy setup and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's very like Halloweenish. It's very kind of that.
If I'm gonna watch a campy horror film,
exactly,
the opening better be pretty darn campy.
There better be someone sneaking into some place they're not supposed to go.
Yeah,
there better be skinny dipping. There better be some kind of nudity, right? There better be them being dead because they're nude.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, people doing something stupid.
Right, exactly. And the remake, I was surprised it was Richard Dreyfuss, and I was like, okay. I was like, why is? And I thought it was like an homage to Jaws, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I guess the original Piranha, it was made as either a spoof on Jaws or like or homage.
Yeah.
And I guess to me the remake is just exposition of explaining like why the piranha are there now, and it never really comes back of like who the guy was or one like that. So I think it's weak. So I go original.
It's just no reason for Richard Dreyfuss to be in that.
Not
film.
really. No, it could have been anybody.
It could be us.
Yeah.
It could be us fishing and doing this show.
Yeah.
Or having a debate about something, and then we get sucked into this continuum or this whirlpool or whatever.
Let's go. Let's go round 2. I'm talking about it.
Round 2. Which story did you like better? 1978's John Carpenter's Piranha, as I'm going to call it, or 2011's Piranha 3D?
Okay. So one of the interesting things that I want to get your opinion on is we talked about Richard Dreyfuss. There's actually a lot of known people, in the remake film, but they're only in small parts, kind of type thing.
It's the scary movie premise.
Is it?
Or not like an actual scary movie, but the proper film scary movie.
Yeah.
Where let's put like ridiculously well-known celebrities into bit parts in these films, and see if they want to just make an easy check.
Yeah.
And then our film looks better because it's got this guy, and that guy in it.
Yeah. And see, I thought that too, but then I kind of wonder if bringing someone like with more experience is able to bring like the B story like up to a higher level.
Yeah.
The remake story is a better story than I thought it'd be.
It really is.
It's not horrible. And I think it's the actors and actresses that bring that up.
I enjoyed watching this film.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
Having said that, I like the original because of of the stakes. I like that the Paul character, who's the lead character, his motivation, like for the first and second act, is to get to his daughter. That's the whole is that she's at a camp, and there's Piranha.
He recognizes this threat once he finds out what it is. He's like, "Oh crap! There's my daughter," and then there's this water park that's opening right downstream from where all these fish are, or where they're headed.
Yep. Yeah. So I like the fact that that is the motivation. And then it loses its way the third act because it almost I think he saves her at the beginning of or at the end of the second act, and then it's like, what do you do for third act? Third act is just massacre. Pretty much.
Let's meet this villain that's the guy running the water park, who doesn't listen to anybody and has obviously cut corners of the water park to save a buck and doesn't want to get people out of the water either. And let's just watch this thing come to ruin.
Yeah.
So you're right. The third act is a massacre for no good reason.
Yeah. And then having said that, the remake, I think it's an okay setup, but I don't know. I feel like I like the science part of it, of the scientists going to explore it. Yeah. I like the sheriff character. I like those characters. I like the scientist characters.
I do too.
I like the kid. I just don't think they needed to go so over the top with the party thing, and because it's just distracting.
It's like, what is this? Is this an actual horror film,
right,
or is this a party film?
Yeah,
like it could be one of those two, but it can't be both at the same time.
It just felt distracting to me, so I go original in the story.
I do too, and I couldn't agree with you more on a lot of the stuff. I really liked it. We'll talk more about Elizabeth Shue, but I like the sheriff character.
Yeah,
I liked the kid. I liked the girl that it was supposed to be his love interest.
Yep.
I liked Christopher Lloyd, and his part wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's stunt casted a little bit, for that reason. But so part of that is why I want to go the original story, because I like my B movie campy, kind of horror film with people that I don't know or don't care to know in this film.
Right.
But I liked a lot of the individual performances 2011, but the story makes so much more sense to me in 1978.
Sure.
But like you said before, it finds its way in the last act. But on a whole, the 2011 is a little bit better.
Okay. So wait, you're going original, right?
I'm going original.
Okay, cool. That's just what I wrote down. So
let me say it this way: the 2011 version is a more watchable film.
I think. Well, I don't know. Not if you're on a plane.
No, yeah, that's true. That's true. Not if you're in public. This isn't one to.
Are those breasts?
This isn't one to put on the back seat, the headrest TV.
Right. Exactly. All right. Let's go round 3 here.
Round 3.
Round 3. The director. Did you prefer Joe Dante or did you prefer Alexander Aja? Ugh.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Alexandre Aja.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one.
All right.
I didn't like a lot of the see when I look at the direction in the remake, I feel like I'm watching Sharknado.
Very much so.
That's which if that's what you know you're going in for, you're going in for like a crappy Sharknado movie, then fine. But if you're going for like an actual kind of horror movie, you know, I'm going to go Joe Dante because, like I said, I joked about John Carpenter earlier. He had nothing to do with this film, but it doesn't kind of look and sound like a John Carpenter premise.
Very much so.
With the except that the third act wouldn't lose its way in a John Carpenter film.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
That's the only difference. So I'm going to go Joe Dante.
Okay. I'll go original as well.
I will say this about the remake. The scene that I thought was the funniest in the massacre at the end was the one where the stage cable snaps and the chick gets sliced diagonally from the shoulder down. It rips her top off. So we get to see her naked first, and then you realize, for no good... I mean, hilarious to me that they felt the need to do this on multiple levels.
Right.
You know, so you see her naked first for a split second, and then, like, her body falls apart diagonally.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, crap, she got whipped. Like, clear through.
Yeah.
So...
And it's kind of related to, I guess, direction, but... See, I feel like old school like movies are about characters, and they're about putting these people, you know, in bad situations, and you've already been with them, and you know, and you care about them being in that bad situation. You care about the Paul character because he has to dive in, you know, to the thing. I actually don't know what he was doing, but you know, in order to save the day, you know, he has to dive into the water, and the piranhas are going to get him. You don't want him to do that, but because you've been with him and you know how much he cares about his daughter, you don't want him to do it.
Basically, what's happened is the water's up, and a building he was trying to access is underwater now.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And then it's like in the horror films like nowadays, it's just about showing these cool kills and about how do we slice people and yet still show her breast somehow, and it doesn't.
That was so funny to me, though.
I don't think it was funny.
It's like, holy crap, they're gonna slice her to death that way.
Yeah, and I don't feel like the characters go into a lot of depth in the remake. I don't get as much character as I would like to. I mean, I like Elizabeth Shue because you know, she's a female sheriff, and you can tell she puts up with a lot of bullshit in that town. And
she's apparently a single mom.
Right, single mom. And
tough lady.
I kind of like Adam Scott in this movie. I think you mentioned it, but
by the way, Adam Scott's in this film. He's this.
You know, I think it's a different casting. It's kind of going against type as him as a scientist, but I thought it was fine. I thought the whole chemistry of the dive team was good. You know, but as far as everyone else, I don't feel like they went into a lot of depth. Yeah. As far as them, so far as that, I go the director, Joe Dante, the original.
Yeah, we're both going to go original here for the same reasons, you know, because the remake felt and looked like a Sharknado film.
Definitely.
Although a couple of the effects were kind of cool. As far as Adam Scott goes, I feel like this might have been one of the years doing Parks and Rec where Amy Poehler had an extended break because of maternity leave.
Oh,
they had a couple seasons where you went like 9 months or a year almost without seeing, you know, a new episode of Parks and Rec because one season it would end early and the other one would start late because they would hold it back for mid-season because Amy Poehler was, you know, he just had a kid. Happened at least once during Parks and Rec. And I think this was after he was in Step Brothers.
Okay.
And kind of had broken out in Step Brothers, and then of course he was in Parks and Rec, and it was really hitting its stride in 11 and 12 and in that time, so he might have just had the time to do it, and this isn't a film that required a lot from him.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
he's not it. He's a good part of it, but
he doesn't have to do anything with his hair. He just kind of wears it, you know, messed up. It doesn't have to be neat like it is in Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
And he could just kind of be the scientist character, which wasn't a stretch for a guy like Adam Scott.
Yeah.
So
let's go round 4 here.
Round 4.
Which lead male did you like better, Bradford Dillman as Paul in the original, or Stephen R. McQueen as Jake Forrester in the remake?
Okay. So he is related to like this Stephen McQueen. I guess
is it his son?
It's his grandpa.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that's what I read. Hopefully it's right. Yeah, because I had the same question. Bradford Dillman, he looks exactly like Will Ferrell with a beard to me, and that's all I could see in this film. And I could see, if you put Will Ferrell in a beard in a remake of this film, it'd be the same thing.
You know what I saw when I looked at Bradford Dillman?
What?
I looked at a real life personification of Randy Marsh from South Park.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just goofy guy who's well-intentioned but almost always falls short of what he intends to do. And apparently this film is the one time where he actually rises to his potential and does something. But
his character is the one that has the daughter
not to make fun of people in these circumstances, but Paul doesn't come in the best place in life. He's unemployed.
No,
he's unemployed. He's on disability. His wife's just left him.
Yeah.
So he's kind of raising his daughter. And
which I think is cool. It's like an everyman character. I can relate to that character.
Right. This isn't a guy that comes in on a white stallion. He comes in on a beat-up Jeep.
The remake character is the son of the sheriff of the town, which is kind of predictable.
Yeah.
If I feel like he's into porn, but he's afraid of it or something like that, because it seems like he's, or I shouldn't say that. Maybe he's just been really not closed off, but his mom keeps a tight leash on him. Maybe I want to say. So,
I think he wants to be in the party atmosphere.
He wants to experience the
break.
town, which is like a vacation town, but he hasn't been able to.
But he also knows that because his mom's a single mother, she needs his help.
Yeah.
To help with the little ones, and he's the oldest, so he probably bears a lot of responsibility. And it seems like he's kind of a buttoned down, close to the vest kind of person. Doesn't have a lot of confidence in his ability to go out and get girls, because he can't really embrace that atmosphere. Yeah, so. I go
the original because he looks like Will Ferrell, and I like that. But no, I like that he had the motivation of trying to save the people, and that was his whole motivation. And he didn't. I don't think they ever did. Him and the lead female ever sleep together? I don't think they did.
No.
And it wasn't about. I like that it's not about that. It seems like every single film, the lead male has to sleep with the lead female at some point.
Well, there's at least some romantic inclination.
Exactly.
It's not.
These
are just two people who work together to solve a problem.
Yep.
To some degree.
Yep.
They don't exactly solve it to they don't save a whole lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who would disagree with you about saving the table because they're dead now.
I think the day is saved to the extent to which Paul can save the day.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul is not a superhero, and this would be one of those things. I'm not proud of that day. He, when he's drunk on a back deck about 10 years from the time of this film, he's not really going to brag about this, and he'll only tell the stories about some of the things he did reluctantly.
I think he's alive at the end, isn't he? Or no?
Yeah, he's alive.
Okay, because he got bit up.
Yeah, he survived. He survived
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like Jake Forrester in this movie and the Steve McQueen kid, but I'm gonna go Brad Dillman because it's so over the top.
Yeah,
it's an over the top performance for a movie that needs an over the top performance.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. We'll take a short break here, and we'll be right back with more Battle Remake. There's Will Ferrell.
It's open.
You nailed that on the head.
Paul Brogan? Hi, I'm Maggie McGowan. I work for a skip tracing company.
What's that?
You be a lady, and I'll be a man.
I keep waiting for him to say, "Get off the shed."
That's a great callback to a great SNL sketch.
I'm looking for a pair of teenage kids. Some friends of theirs said that they might have gone backpacking up here.
Well, I haven't seen them. You talk to sheriff's people?
They said it was a big mountain.
You're right, it is.
So what's it
Well,
to you?
I figured they may have followed along the river. Are there any places to swim near here?
Well, if they drowned, they'd be swept down at the dam, you see. So you're starting at the wrong end.
Boy, you're the wrong end, all right.
I love that line.
I like how she comes into his house and tells him what's what.
Right.
It's kind of, it's just like a woman,
You
though.
cool your jets, baby. I didn't axe murder your young couple. I can't help you. I haven't seen them.
I didn't axe murder your young couple.
That's right.
Are there any other shacks up here?
Cabins. This is a cabin.
So she belittles his home.
Places where they might be holed up.
Well, there's no fella named Jack. Has a place downriver a bit, but he's not with them. And there was some kind of army test site way up the mountain. That closed down 5-6 years ago.
I'm sure they're not there.
Come on, let's go.
Go where?
You're taking me up there.
He sounds a little bit like the dad off of Talladega Nights as a younger man.
Yeah. Let's go round 5 here.
Round 5.
The lead female, her name was Heather Menzies Ulrich.
Yeah.
As Maggie.
Ironically, if someone was on their Menzies in this film, it would have made things a little different.
In the remake, it is Elizabeth Shue who plays the sheriff, Julie Forrester. Of these two performances, which do you prefer?
This is not a vote against Heather Menzies Ulrich or whatever. I just like Elizabeth Shue in this film.
Sure.
She's a tough, strong, powerful woman that does a great job to try to hold everything together in a situation that really would just snap a lot of people.
Yeah.
She's running a small sheriff's department in this otherwise sleepy town that comes alive for spring break because it's Party Central USA, apparently, or at least to the west.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, she and her overburdened sheriffs have, like, an
Ving
entire
Rhames.
lake full of people.
Ving Rhames.
Yeah, Ving Rhames.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. You forget that Ving Rhames is in this movie.
Yeah,
Oscar winner Ving Rhames is a sheriff. And, yeah, how are there not any other roles for Ving Rhames other than this?
What's up, little man?
Yeah, right. Right? But yeah, like Elizabeth Shue is a really admirable character, and she does a great job portraying this character. It's really a heartfelt performance, you feel like.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with you. I like that she got this role, even though she's older, and it seems like Hollywood doesn't want to have anything to do with people over a certain age.
Yeah.
And it's great. She looks good.
She's sexy in this movie.
Yeah. And there's even a scene where one of the kids is actually hitting on her, and she kind of puts him in his place. And
right.
I think she tases. No, she doesn't tase him, does he?
She puts him in cuffs.
Puts him in cuffs, but I think she threatens to tase everybody else who's going to jump in.
Tases like his buddy or something, doesn't it?
Something, I don't know, but it was cool. Anyway, I like her in this role. I think I don't like the original actress because of just how she delivered the lines. It was very, very wooden.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of the 70s of how they acted and stuff.
It reminded me of Jennifer Jason Leigh in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, really.
Yeah, sure.
Kind of young, kind of immature.
Yeah.
You're just like, there's no way this woman would have this role, this job. She does not sound mature enough to be somebody that I would think of that's going to go search for missing persons.
Yeah. It definitely reminds me of the acting in the original Halloween of those extra side characters.
Oh, yeah.
The ones that got killed really fast.
Yeah.
That's kind of that. What are we on? Run 6 here?
Yeah.
So I have this written as better dick, but Eric's like, better dick? What are you talking about?
I want to rephrase, better douchebag.
Okay.
Bruce Gordon as Colonel Waxman in the original, or Jerry O'Connell as Derek Jones in the remake.
All right. This is tough because
it's really tough,
and I think we should probably change that to the camp counselor in the original.
You want to
versus Jerry O'Connell? Yeah.
Okay.
Because that guy was a dick. That guy was.
Okay. Who's a better? Okay, fine.
and I don't know his name, and we have to look it up.
Sorry, Colonel Waxman, you're out. Yeah. Better douchebag, camp counselor from the first movie, or Jerry O'Connell as Derek Jones.
There we go. Having said that, let me see. Wow.
It's tough because these are two different kinds of douchebags.
So, what did I vote? What did I have? I've written down here. Does he have any kind of motivation? The camp counselor,
to run a successful camp, and apparently to hate children.
I think I'm going to go with the camp counselor.
Really?
And I the reason why is I think Jerry O'Connell is so over the top. I mean, he's just so over the top in this film. And it's fine if you're the villain, it's fine to be over the top. But I kind of like my villains to have, some form of motivation, some kind of, of a moral code, something to, ground them in reality. And I felt like he's like a porn producer. He hires the kid.
It's more Girls Gone Wild, I guess, is porn. That's what this is a parody of. This is a parody of the Girls Gone Wild guy.
Right, yeah. And he hires the Jake character to kind of take him around town, which is a thin thing, but he hires him for that, and then they go out into the lake and they hit some kind of like a reef thing or something like that, and they get stuck, and then panic ensues pretty much.
Yeah.
But I go original.
Gee, if we're gonna go the camp counselor, I'm gonna go Jerry O'Connell just because they don't give the counselor enough to do. Like, that character is a legendary dickbag.
Yeah.
But Jerry O'Connell though, I'm gonna go coked up Patron fueled.
Yeah.
Douche.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's a parody on or a commentary on Girls Gone Wild.
Sure.
Really, because that's the premise. That's what he's there to do. He's there to do Girls Gone Wild in Lake Havasu. I don't even remember what the lake's supposed to be called, but it's set in it's shot in Lake Havasu, Arizona. It's based on Lake Havasu.
Okay.
But yeah, he's just such a vile creature.
Yeah.
The entire time. There's he didn't even want to save children.
Yeah.
When Jake's younger brother and sister end up marooned on that little island.
Yeah.
He didn't want to go save children, despite the fact that he was relying on their older brother to make him money.
Yeah.
So
and see, it's if you had that character, and all of a sudden you have something to where he has some kind of a thing of where he's able to save himself in some way, like maybe he wants to save that kid, or maybe he has a soft spot for this one girl, or something like that. Something to where like the villain has something to redeem himself. Kind of. I think it add more depth to that character, but it just doesn't. It's just one. It's just flat for me. It's one note.
I think the cocaine excuses that. Like you just chalk that up to the cocaine. Blame it on the coke.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
I said that on the air one time.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was at a baseball game several years ago, and it was a slow night at the ballpark. Wasn't a lot going on, and someone just starts yelling like a banshee, and it's being picked up over my mic.
And that's what you said.
And
I like it.
Like in the middle, it's the seventh inning of kind of a slow night, lame ball game, and there's no way the audience at home didn't hear this woman just have this outburst.
Right.
And I'm just like, well, cocaine's a hell of a drug. There's
nice.
the 2-2. That's outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Let's go round 7 here.
Round 7.
Okay, so round 7. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the Babes in these films. Did you prefer the Babes of 1978 or the Babes of 2011?
This is the most Wayne's World category I've ever had. Which Babes were better, the Babes of 78 or the Babes of 2011? Like I said, it just depends on what you want out of a girl. Like in the late 70s, early 80s, it just seemed like nobody wore bras ever.
Yes.
So
that's a good shot.
Maiden Form, Victoria's Secret. I wouldn't have bought stock in your companies.
Right.
I don't even think Vicky's Secret existed back then, but I wouldn't have bought stock in it.
Would you've known her as long as Eric has? Her name is Vicky.
Me and Vicky are on nickname basis. I'm gonna go 2011.
Okay.
It's just
cool.
Even the ones that weren't in the film just to get ridiculous, just to get naked and show off their ridiculously big boobs.
Right.
Like Jake's friend.
Yep.
What was her name even?
I don't even know.
Just cute though.
Oh
Boy,
yeah.
was she cute.
Yeah. The one who threw up?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like this is how so many of my college nights ended. Boy, she was cute. Wait, the one who threw... Yeah. I kind of like the one who threw up. I was digging what she was throwing down, other than her lunch. But it's just which era of girls do you prefer?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2011.
I kind of like the original. I mean, I'll give it up. I mean, I think there's something really interesting in like a time like where they were sexy and it was okay to dress like that, at a camp. And you're like, that's clearly inappropriate. But like for that
she's
time,
obviously not wearing a bra.
Yeah, yeah.
And
they
she's
had
around
small,
kids.
like really small shorts and stuff like that. And it's like, that's clearly inappropriate like now, but for then it wasn't. And there's also something like if, I guess like sensory overload, of the remake of where it's so in your face, it's not even really attractive anymore.
That's true.
And that's probably why I could watch it on a plane, is because I was like, it's just sensory overload, and then.
But the 16-year-old boys that were around you.
Exactly. Yeah, they were all. Yep. So.
Yeah.
But so we'll split that one.
I'm really surprised this doesn't include 70s Bush in some way, shape, or form.
Well, they couldn't show that. And
that's probably true.
And an R one, that's not good. But all right, let's take another small break, and we'll be right back with more Battle Remake.
I'm coming! Hold your horses! The store is closed.
Let's not be too cliche.
Right.
I want to know what the hell this thing is doing in my lake.
Where did you get this?
Oh, in the middle of the lake, where there are 2 people dead.
Have you heard of that lake before?
Oh my, yeah, that's right. Oh
Great
my,
Scott!
Excuse me.
Marty!
But is that a fucking piranha?
Carl, not the only one.
Yeah, here, look at this. There are thousands of them. Thousands. And they're pissed.
You know, I've heard of this.
He's good in this movie. I like him in this
It's like
movie.
those baby alligators in New Jersey. Someone leaves them and then they breed.
What?
I like him in this movie, but he's so above this.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
This particular piranha vanished off the face of the earth more than 2 million years ago.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do when Christopher Lloyd dies and we have no one else to expertly deliver crazy lines anymore? Like, it's just Gary Busey after that.
Pretty much.
The Pygocentrus, not the original piranha.
That's him.
They used to swim the Colorado River right up until the Pleistocene epoch. I still don't understand how you found one alive.
We discovered a subterranean lake through a rift caused by the quake.
But how could it have survived for so long, cut off from the surface?
Cannibalism.
Oh, that's right.
Fought each other to survive.
It doesn't have him opening up some kind of a time-space rift.
All the scars.
They were actually living
Right.
and eating themselves.
Jesus, it's like he's staring back at you.
No. Not staring. Sensing.
Oh, yeah, that's a smart idea.
Yeah, stick a finger in there.
God, don't do that.
That's what I thought when I saw that. Why are you doing that? Okay.
Adam Scott had to look at some of these lines and be like, really? I get paid to say this?
Let's talk scientists
and they're
here.
pissed.
For round 8, let's talk about the scientists. In the original, it's Kevin McCarthy as Dr. Robert Hawke. In the remake, we just heard Christopher Lloyd as Carl Goodman. Which did you prefer?
It's 2 things, and they're both real simple. One,
I love it.
you know, how on earth do you just wait an entire day to tell the people you're with about this threat that you've tried to... He got in a fight. You know, Kevin McCarthy as Dr. Hawke. He got in a fight to try to prevent these people from draining the pool.
But the original.
Lost the fight. Doesn't explain to them why it was worth fighting for,
Right.
ever.
Yeah.
Until like the day after when they're trying to get him medical help.
Yeah.
So that's a strike against him for one.
Okay.
For two, this movie found a way to finagle Christopher Lloyd as a crazy scientist.
Yeah.
And I think we have to do that while we still have time.
Yeah.
I think we need to make more movies to where Christopher Lloyd is crazy scientist characters, just to throw him a scene or two, just so we can have that before he dies.
Yeah.
So Christopher Lloyd, all the way.
All right. I'm going to agree with you. And again, I like Christopher Lloyd, but it's more of a vote against the first guy because the things he does are so like weird, including the scene where he dies.
It made no sense.
It made no sense. So they're on a they're on a raft. It's him and the 2 main characters, and they're going down the river. It's
the rental Jeep has been stolen and flipped. It's the only way that they're going to get to safety.
They're on a
it's a handmade raft.
Yeah, on a Huck Finn raft, pretty much. And they're going like towards the camp where his daughter is, and they find someone else like who's in trouble, and the kid is on top of a canoe, and the scientist, he feels it's a good idea to just like jump in the water and try to save this kid. He gets eaten before he gets there.
Well, he knows he's giving himself up.
Right.
But
it's not even
why is he giving himself up?
Right.
The kid's not in.
He has no chance of saving that kid at all.
Well, it's not like the kid's in jeopardy. The boat's not. The overturned boat isn't sinking.
Right.
Like, it's not like the kid's about to go into the water. They just got to talk the kid down.
Right.
It's like, don't do anything stupid. Stay
There's
right
no
there.
Reason for it. There's no reason for it.
Yeah.
It's just that he had to exit the story at that point. Or whatever. Right. So a vote for Christopher Lloyd is a kind of a vote against him for me. So okay. I go remake. Let's go 9.
Round 9.
Which film did you find scarier, the 1978 version or the 2011 version?
Truth be told, I wasn't really afraid in any of these films.
I had a couple jump cut moments in the 2011 version.
That makes sense. Yeah,
stuff that I didn't expect.
And I mean, I was watching it on an iPad.
Or jump scenes, I guess, not jump cut. But
I was watching it on like a small little iPad, so it's hard to get scared in that.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one, I would say probably 2011. I think it's a little more. There's a scene at the very end of the whole like melee of the carnage at the thing where there's just like bodies that are like half cut and they're still moving, and there's people who have just really gross stuff, and that's not scary necessarily, but the way they got there is more scary to me.
Sure.
And it's more visual. It's more gross. It kind of like reminds me of why I don't dig horror films, because I don't need to see that at all. If you want to see that, I'm joining the army, and you can see it firsthand,
right.
and it's serious.
Right.
But if I had to pick one, I'd probably say 2011.
Remake.
I'm going to go original here.
Okay.
And
original.
I really wasn't scared at either of these films. Like I said, there were a couple jump scares in the 2011 version, but I don't really consider that. That's more like a popcorn film kind of thing.
Yeah.
What I found scarier, the 78 version, was some of the tense music, the ominous music leading into the scenes with the piranha.
You're right.
And that sound effect. That,
No, it's more like
whatever it was. It was all, neither one of us is really good at this. Let's just admit that to our listeners. But we fail here. But it's like something you would see in a John Carpenter movie. That's why I keep going back to the John Carpenter thing. Mm-hmm. But this is that kind of scary movie, that time and that era of scary films. Mm-hmm. That's just an eerie sound.
Yeah.
You hear that sound, it's coming, and you know that it's not going to go good. It's not going to go well, excuse me. But to me, that's what makes the 78 one scarier, just a little creepier.
Cool. Let's go on 10.
Wow, 10.
Which film had the better ending, 1978 or 2011?
So basically, people get eaten or more people get eaten.
Yeah.
Truth be told, what bothers me about the ending in the new one is I think it's a really lame way that all the fish die. There's one explosion, and then it kills the fish in the entire lake. Right. Like if it was somehow electromagnetic, and there was like a pulse that got sent through the water,
right,
and that killed everything, I would understand that a little bit more than just one massive explosion of a boat, which was a cool explosion, by the way. I would buy that more. If it was something electromagnetic that went through the entire water rather than just one explosion or everything else dies.
So like all the fish have left the beach part, and they've gone to this boat like where all the main characters are trapped onto, and they're trying to get off that boat onto a different boat.
It's a sinking,
and apparently
stranded boat.
all the fish are under that boat. Apparently,
it's a sinking, stranded boat that apparently.
We said it apparently a lot because they haven't told us.
That apparently it is sinking to a point, and then it just stopped sinking.
Okay.
And the girl's just terrified beyond belief that she's stuck in this boat and can't get out.
So there's an explosion, and they're able to get everyone off, but then at the very end, they're told that those are only the small fish; those aren't the big fish.
Yeah.
And a big fish
eats Adam Scott.
Eats Adam Scott, and that's the end. Whereas the original, they don't. They save the daughter, yet they don't make it in time to save the summer.
To save the water park.
Yeah, the water park, and there's a lot of people that are eaten.
The Janktastic water park is just done.
And then at the very end of that, the news shows up, and they're interviewing a scientist, and she says there's no reason to think that there is anything wrong, like with the oceans, or they haven't escaped or something like that.
First of all, let's get back to the scientist.
Okay.
Because that was part of the movie that didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, she doesn't make any sense.
They hint that she's very strongly connected somehow to Dr. Hawk. Mm-hmm. Like she's his ex-wife, or they were ex-lovers or ex-partners, or in working together.
Yeah.
But they don't ever tell you anything about. They hint at it.
Yeah, they don't go into that.
But what is it to me if I never find out what it was?
Yeah.
Why should I care one way or the other?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you You have to pick one of these endings.
Goodness,
it's tough.
I'm gonna go original because you get a little bit of a happy ending there when that he saves his daughter.
Okay.
And kind of as a hero in her eyes.
Yeah.
Because poor guy. He's divorced recently. Yeah. He's unemployed.
Yeah.
There probably are not a lot of scenarios at that time of his life where he gets to look like a hero in his daughter's eyes.
Yeah.
Truth be told.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's let him have this.
Yeah.
He has this, and he can't save the water park. The unscrupulous water park owner kind of has his ending come about, but I'm gonna because that one at least gives you a shred of something good.
Sure.
I'm gonna go there.
Okay. I go remake because I think it's as in the original they tell you that it might not be over. Who knows? In the remake, at least they show you it's not over. You know, and that there's going to be 3 Double D coming up. I'm laughing like a 5-year-old when I say that. Like an idiot. So I think for that reason, I choose that. Although I'm not sure I'm in love with any of these endings really. So
no. I mean, these are watchable movies.
Yeah,
they really are. But the ending's kind of botched in both.
Yeah. Well, and you know that the remake was one. It was setting up the sequel. I mean, that's just how we make movies now.
Yeah.
So
like a bad boob job in the 2011 version, the ending gets botched.
All right, that's it for round 10. Here we'll go to a section called
That's a Wrap.
And are you gonna add these up, or you want me to? Because I wrote them kind of weird.
Well, let me take a crack at this.
Okay,
here.
so this is the first line, and then it continues over here.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So I think these films are interesting. I don't think the best film has been out there. I haven't seen any of the sequels. Apparently, there was a Piranha film made before 1970 too. I mean, so there's. I mean, it's an easy concept for people to. You did it way too fast. You're like a math wizard or something.
I'll teach you the secret here in a minute.
I give this guy. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. If I have to recommend one or the other, I think most people. I think they'd be inclined to watch the remake just because it's new and it's and there's people in there that they know, like Ving Rhames,
Adam Scott.
Yeah, Adam Scott, Elizabeth Shue and stuff like that. I think the original one holds more dearness to me. I think it's more interesting. The story, the characters. Oh God, if I have to recommend one, probably the original. I'd say. I don't know.
It depends on what you want in a movie. Do you want a campy movie, or do you want a movie that's actually got a decent plot to it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Although I like a lot of the performances in the remake, I'm gonna go original as well.
Oh wow, cool. All right. Interesting. Very interesting. The scoring actually reflects that 94 to 92 for the original. Little surprise there, but that's cool. All right, that's it for Battle Remake. You can check us out online. You can check us out on Facebook. You can check us out on SoundCloud. You can check us out on iTunes.
Yeah.
And you can, if you go to our website, you can see, which movies are coming up, and you can watch them ahead of time and then see what we think of them.
So you can play along with us.
Right, you can play along. My name is Buzz Mead.
I'm Eric Little.
Until next time, have a good time all the time.